Injuries, they completely suck, and I am an expert at having been injured, whether it be back or shoulder injury. I have been injured at every major joint of my body, and along the way, I have learned many things about my training and myself through injuries. Injuries not only might stagnate you but push you backwards. It is better to prevent than to heal, and that is why I would like to show you tips and different perspectives that will definitely help you have external gains. Number 1. Listen to your own body. Many times when we start working out or training, we find somebody who gives us a structure to do something with certain exercises on a given day, which conventionally expands to a week. That is an exercise routine or program, and many beginners need somebody else to make it for them. It grants them order, and because they have a sort of schedule, the uncertainty disappears and it is much likely that they're going to be constant and work out. A workout program is supposed to count for the difficulty of the exercises, the frequency of such, and how much repetitions and sets are going to be made, along with the management of progressive overload. All those parameters have an effect on your joints and your health. Most training programs are made for the general public. They aren't made solely for you. It means that within the program there are things that may assimilate differently in your body than in others, or unique things about your body that the program doesn't know. Maybe a particular exercise is simply more straining to your joints than others, or the frequency or heaviness of an exercise is too high for you than what the program intended. And over time, you don't listen to your body, you listen to the program, and an injury happens. After all, a program is not perfect and it is not meant to be, but in the competitiveness of marketing, it must be shown as perfect. It sounds far-fetched to expect a beginner to intuitively know how to manage his joint feelings, but it simply boils down to listening to your own body and being honest with yourself. Intuition. Are you training hard? Yes. Is the exercise causing you trouble in your joints, whether it be slight pain or immense pressure that you are not used to? Yes. Then change the exercise for the moment, or decrease the load or frequency, or take a few days of rest and come back. You will not lose all your gains. Listen to your body. Number 2. Stop being close-minded and coming from a high ground. Homeostasis is the balance that your body makes in order for it to function properly. But in order to be balanced and healthy, sometimes you need less or more of a few things. Maybe some people who move and are bigger will benefit from eating more salt in their meals, and somebody that is smaller and sedentary will benefit from a reduction of salt in their diet. If that is the case, how can you give a guideline that would completely satisfy their needs with this contrasting conflict? You simply can't. Yes, there are general rules, but what if they don't work out at all? You know, a lot of dieting and training advice tends to be definitive. The only definitive thing about dieting and training is that most things aren't definitive. And you know, there is nothing wrong with general rules or advice. The problem comes when people take their ways as the best and definitive way that will always work to everyone without exception. And the same people that believe that their training is the best without exception are either beginners who are told something and the only thing they know is to repeat it, while influencers are incentivized to say that their way is the way, because otherwise, how are they going to sell their programs and put themselves as authorities? Every beginner wants to believe that what he does is the best. That is why we see a bunch of people looking for the best and definitive answers for every question. And then they can't conform to an ambiguous answer. They are the most uncertain about training and dieting, so they need the certainty the most. And without demand, there is no supply. The problem with this is that it will make you close-minded, and if you think that what you do is the best, then there is no room for improvement. Thus, nothing needs to change at all. If there is a flawed aspect of your training that you are not taking into account, then you might injure yourself. And assuming that most people that believe this way are beginners, then what they are going to do is mindlessly follow the program their favorite influencers with PhDs gave them and not listen to anything else, not even their own joints and body. Again, honestly listening to your own body is important. Stop being arrogant with a new exercise. We have all discovered a new exercise during our journey that excites us to try and train hard. However, when it comes to strength, we must keep in mind that much of strength is extremely specific. This means that just because you are strong in the muscle group involved in that exercise, it doesn't mean that without having practiced it, you can perform the exercise with all the weight you can handle or with many repetitions. In other words, we will be less strong in movement patterns we have in practice compared to those we have. Without knowing this, you might try to train hard without the best technique and without proper adaptation just because you think you can, and you might end up getting injured. Number 4. Warming up is the hero nobody cares about. Warming up is arguably the most important thing possible to prevent injury. The difference proper warming up can make to your joints and strength is crazy, whether it be dynamic stretching and lighter sets before doing your main sets. The blood flow from the light sets is magic to your joints, and it prepares you mentally to perform properly. Sometimes it can feel like a chore, but knowing how important it can be makes a drastic difference with the attitude you take when doing it. Whether it be 5 to 15 minutes or more, warming up is a time investment everyone should take. Tempo matters. Doing a quick tempo when not having properly warmed up or doing an exercise you have never done is a recipe for injuries. If you think about it, a lot of injuries come from putting your body in a way that it is not used to quickly. Moving your joints beyond its accustomed range of motion with a considerable weight could injure you because you haven't adapted to that range of motion. Just the fact that you are doing it quickly prevents you from possibly feeling what is happening to your joints until something pops. Not to demonize fast tempo, but it is still worth considering. Number 6. Being afraid to making changes. We all like order and structure. It makes us feel in control. But slight changes or even sometimes big changes can make a world of difference in our training. And when it comes to avoiding injury, it also remains true. Being afraid to make changes might mean not adding an extra rest day in your training just because you want everything to have the perfect volume and frequency. It might also mean not avoiding or changing an exercise that is currently causing you problems in your joints. It means not adding an exercise that may make you stronger in a particular range of motion and joint, and thus making you stronger and bulletproof over time. If you constantly injure yourself and never change anything, the same will happen over and over again. Number 7. The pump is your friend. High volume, lightweight training is incredibly for your joints, so as long as you don't do junk volume. Prolonged heavyweight or intensity training might in the long run be harmful for your joints without proper rest or blood flow. In this case, high volume light training, even high rep calisthenics, can constantly bring blood to your joints with light loads. Blood flow and the pump are incredibly important not only to prevent injuries, but also to heal them. After all, blood is what brings the oxygen and nutrients to the parts of the body. Without blood, there is no transportation to bring them to your joints and muscles. And if you are constantly pumping the joint, you want to heal or prevent injury, you are in fact not only increasing the amount of blood in that muscle, but also, as a byproduct, you are increasing the amount of blood that passes close to the joint used to move that muscle. The light loads put minimal stress on the joints while increasing joint movement and allows for high reps to be made. You know, despite all of these tips, injuries are simply something to be experienced, a part of training. They are unavoidable. Like death, it is bound to happen. It doesn't matter how much you prevent accidents, they will happen, and maybe your body simply popped while doing everything to stop it from happening. So deal with it and accept it and learn from it, and if you can, avoid them.